All right, this'll be a moment of truth. We're gonna go ahead and load up today. Was at work today, so we didn't get to trade simulation. That's all right. We're gonna trade the playback. The only difference is that my brain isn't dead at 7 a.m. and my brain is pretty much functioning at this time. So that's the only difference that'll be happening. That's the most difficult thing I had about trading with 7 a.m. is that I couldn't wake up and my brain just wouldn't operate the same way. I would be in sleep mode. But hopefully with these notes we can compensate for being brain dead. Alright, let's get this day loaded up. Alright, as this day gets loaded up, you know, we're trading impacts and it's working amazingly. We kind of strayed away from it just due to the fact the market got a lot more simpler and a lot more easier to read, where this didn't become necessary. But now it looks like the market's picking back up since it's no longer Q4 and it's very necessary. It's like almost every single trade we took was a winner in that last video. I think we just lost one because of I think I read it wrong or something. Wait, I don't even think we lost one. I have no idea. We're gonna have to watch that again. But yeah, it's pretty good trading. Doubled it. It went from our goal was $30, obviously, and we know it went all the way to 61. So let's go ahead and trade this. 7 a.m. They chase spikes. They chase even short-term trends. Second entries with the overall trend work for this reason. They will try to trade back into a range / congestion after a spike out of it, pushing the market further out. Sometimes. How to trade. Second entries work well if there seems to be top pickers not moving their stops. If there is a strong trend, traders will always stick with the trend. Okay. Oof, what a range. All right, so we know one thing for sure. We have a range category, and that category. All right, so we know in the range day that we have put this music on a bit louder. Oh, too loud. Test. Okay. We know that in range days, trading inside the range. Range days are by far the hardest to trade using scuff trading / second entries. Notice how this particular day in the image shows the scuff trading. So essentially, when prices begin to move up and has strong momentum, or like the strongest move, traders will begin to chase that market on the first correction they get. It's hard to resist looking for a trend, but often following the trend can backfire because people are playing off the spikes instead of the trends. WE6YU89P-V. Stella wrote that. If the market... Oh, what did she do? The reason it can work in both directions sometimes is because of the range day. So... I'm not sure what I meant by that, but it looks like there's something. How to trade. Take into consideration of the most recent trend / spike to be played as the overall trend. All right, let's go right into this. So we know this was a strong move, and it looks like that upward movement is by far the strongest because you get these higher lows as well. So we'll treat that as the upper direction overall trend, and people are going to chase that shorter term trend. It never breaks lower there, unfortunately. And new swing high. All right, let's just keep going. We'll go up into the first trade. We'll see how this goes. Oh, huh. I was so confused for a second. If you take a look at the minute chart, it looks like the ES, bro. What is this? Like, I'm looking at this, I'm like, wow, those are massive moves. How come this doesn't look like that? Looks like a completely different chart. Essentially the same thing, right? Kind of cray. I hope our scalps are not too massive for these bars. The minute chart's barely getting its... Ooh, hold on, what just happened? I was gonna say barely getting its second entry. Okay, I'm gonna stop talking. Yep, the trend is up. I'm a little worried about these highs, if I'm being quite honest. There's a little bit of like a high area right here. How do I do this? Alt 2? No. Alt F2? No. Alt F... I'm pretty sure. Yeah. Alt F2. Okay. A little worried about these highs. There's another section of range days. More often than not, you will get a setup that will look good for a scuff trade, but people would join your trade because of the range/support, resistance. People joining us in when joining us is not what we want. All right, now we're really getting in those highs. Let's figure out what to do. So be careful shorting at the top of the range and going long at the bottom of one, especially if it's the first time you are testing that area since the last test of that support/resistance. So this is the last time we tested over here, and now we're finally testing it again. In most cases, in the time that I'm writing this at least, the best way to take trades near the main support/resistance. It's not necessarily the main support/resistance. It's like down here and up here, but for the most part, it can be treated as such, and something like that, right? Right around there ish. Yeah. In most cases, the best way to take trades near the main support/resistance levels is to go long/short out of the range when prices look like they're getting ready to go back to the other side of the range. Of course, you can take whatever trades in the range, but there's not much inside here in the range. But I'm just talking about the traders who like to short at the highs and vice versa. When prices break out of the range, people are likely to trade back. I should put likely. Yeah, that sounds nicer. Likely, is that how you spell it? Nope. Why did it not? There it is. Likely to trade back into it, which can often lead to some good buys and some people sometimes at least. Okay. So they're gonna keep trying to push it back in. I can actually think that people have the more of a desire to push up to these sides, if I'm being quite honest, which is why I actually think a sell might be a little bit better because it's not the main support/resist. But let's see. Overall trend is up, so we want to go short. Essentially, I think people are still trying to trade back to these highs. That's why this range is playing so strong, and that's something that's being consistent. It looks like. Well, holy smokes, we got it! Did you see that? What in the world happened there? I think I got that on camera. Look at that. We sold, right? We sold. We were selling. The arrow on the right means we exited. The arrow on the left that's pointing in is where we entered the market. You can see we entered the market with a buy and exited with a sell. Why in the world did it do that? Huh? You're gonna have to watch that 0.25 times speed, Nick, because that was weird, but we got it, I guess. I don't even know how to explain that one. Essentially, it was just we imagined people were gonna push out and out of here, but shorting is obviously the best option. So the overall trend is definitely up. We know that for a fact. This could be just a bottoming pattern if you take a real good look at it. Nonetheless, I'm worried that pushing on out of here may not be the best option, or even shorting back into this is what I want to do is the best idea. I would like to buy here, but people are going to chase the overall trend, but also people like to trade back into here, into this level of support/resistance that we just broke out of. We're going to short. Why are we shorting? Overall trend is up, but that should cancel out. Yeah, that should cancel out because now we're heading in upward direction, so people are going to try to trade back into there. Let's do a non-obvious buy, right? I have no idea, bro. So shorting there was actually a pretty good option. See, we should have stuck with Why are you doubting yourself now? Overall trend is up. People are trying to trade out of it. People are trying to trade back to the highs. That's what it is, bro. Let's go. At least we figured that out. We doubted ourselves. So selling there was the best option, and we knew that. I'll just, man, I'm sad. Sag. This one's an interesting one. We have a spike here. People like to trade back into the spikes, and there's a lot of support there, and I think a lot of people are going to use that. So I actually want to trade outside of it, but that would be joining everybody who's chasing that spike, essentially. But I think it pushed down far enough for people to buy. Man, I'm losing my mind now. I can't think straight. It's a spike. So we want to trade with the short-term trend. In this case, it's actually going long. A couple things. So they're going to chase that spike as well. I think they're trying to push outside of this market, which could push this market back in. That's the only thing I'm a little bit worried about. That was the short-term trend. Are they chasing the spike, or are they buying here as well? It looks like they're trying to push the market on out of here. They're going to chase this spike back to its lows, and I think buying here is actually a good option. Second entry is with overall trend. It's a range day, so technically, thinking really hard here, friends. Okay, well. Can imagine those people I think people are going to try to trade back into it. They're chasing spikes. They chase spikes, so buying here is actually a good option, but they also trade back into the range. I'm not sure if that's going to be something. Are they trying to trade back to lows? Here, let's go ahead and buy. Nice. Alright, so they're chasing the spike and trying to push it back to the lows, essentially. That's the only thing I was worried about, is them trying to trade back into the range and joining everybody. But if it's a light range like that, one that's like surprise in the middle of this like trending day, it's a, yeah, so I think it's okay. Doesn't really look like, oh, is it 8:30? No. Looks like 8:30 on a minute chart, but it doesn't look, oh, it does look like it. But if you zoom in, it doesn't look like a range day. Well, I don't know. But got pretty lucky with that buy. Okay, let's see if we can still enter this. Swing high first entry, second entry. We know everybody's still chasing this, but they do chase those short-term trends. So actually, this is not a spike. This is just two legs down. So I actually do think selling here is the best option on and on, obviously. So since it's not a spike. I don't know if we'll get triggered though. Get down, Nehemiah. You see her in the background. Oh gosh. So selling there was a good option, but unfortunately we couldn't enter it. Alright, overall trend is down still. I'm a little worried about these lows, but I'm actually not. Showing a little bit right there of a bounce. People see that as a spike on the minute chart. So using that minute chart, I think is going to pretty much help us. We can imagine people chasing that spike on down. Essentially, that's what people do. So that's the overall trend, and going with that short-term trend, I actually think, hold on, they chase short-term trends as well. So that spike started to correct at these lows. They're probably buying with that short-term trend, especially with these lows. So I think selling here is actually a pretty good option. Let's see if we're right. I don't know if overall trend just became up, because we did just come off these lows, and now essentially it's the same thing in a range. When you get that bounce or that like topping or bottoming pattern like this, you get that bottoming pattern. Now the overall trend is up at this point as far as you're concerned. So shorting there is actually a pretty good option, and it keeps pushing down. And the short-term trend would be those little move corrections right there. So now we have to think about, I think compared to this move, if you take a look at the minute chart, those two legs still can be considered. Oh man, but these lows here too as well. I think they're buying. I think this is still, but then that's becomes the overall trend, right? And according to they chase the market as well. The spike, that's still a spike. I'm gonna say that's the overall trend. I'm gonna say it. I'm gonna say it. And this is more than 4 bars or 5 bars or whatever it is. Looks like a spike to me, especially if it keeps pushing up here. I'm gonna say this is the overall trend, and this short thing right here is a temporary trend. I'm gonna say it flat out. I want it to push up a little bit more. Keep going, buddy. Don't say I'm lucky. Keep pushing up, Buddha. That's good enough, right? Let's go! That's what we wanted. That's what we wanted. The reason I want that to push up because I feel like it's cheaped out. Like we just got it because of our bar setup or the way the bars formed or just the way our scalp is. I want to be right if I'm right. If I think the market's going up, I don't want it to just give me the take and pull back into the completely opposite direction, because that means we actually did something wrong. And it would have been better to go in the other direction, but we were right. Coming off those lows, that becomes the overall trend going up, and the short-term trend is down. So that's a pretty good trade. You can see that low being tested, especially if you look at the minute chart. That's a pretty confirmed low right there. And that was a good trade. That becomes the overall trend, that uptrend, not that spike down, because everybody sees that as well. And playing off that range, beautiful trade. Selling would not have worked there. Let's go. Read the market. It's the Red Bull, man. I swear it's the Red Bull. All right, it's almost 8:30. We have to decide whether or not we're going to be trading 8:30 or not. Ooh, I think it's going to have to be a not, to be honest. Because, well, let's take a look at our notes. The market's going to go crazy here. 8:30. They like to trade with overall trend and will continuously go against short-term trends and spikes. It's not much to go off of, really, if you think about it. I'm only willing to wait for that 1 hour and just like take a coffee break, wake up a bit, you know? Yeah. Alright, we're fast forward to 9:47. Alright, I don't know. I was a little bit lost for a second, but let's go ahead and take a look at what 9:30 to 10 a.m. has in store for us. How are spikes and second entries handled in the opening? Are people calling tops or chasing them? So let's go ahead and see. So it looks like people are calling tops. Market pushes up a little bit, stops those guys out, then it goes ahead and pushes down. Looks like people are still chasing those that market. Calling tops there. People getting stopped out. People call bottoms. It didn't spike up like that. There's not much data going on here. Because essentially some people if this kept going up and if it was a strong trending day, the market would have bounced there. But it looks like it's just a very large, what do you call it? Very large range day. It's pretty obvious one too. So essentially we want to shoot on out of here because people are, well, let's see. Range days. That's trading inside. Best way to trade near this is to go short out of the range, long short out of it. When prices look like they're getting ready to go back to the other side of the range. Okay. Well, this is going to be hard. It looks like prices might be pushing back down, so along. Let's go for non-obvious then. Yeah. I don't really know how to trade this. What else do we got? 10 a.m. Alright, the push up. We refer back to the range day. So that's the most strongest move up, which is that overall trend. Right? Oh wait, why are we so down low here? 75 low. Those are non-obvious trade. Not sure if we'll get it though. End the trade. Nice. Let's go. So essentially, we just stuck with the notes. when the prices started to look like they were getting ready to go head back to the other side after pushing out of that resistance support, we bought there because at a non-obvious, for obvious reasons, and essentially people are going to try to trade that. The notes say if the market looks like it's getting ready to go back to the other side, we want to buy it out or sell out of that range. In this case, buy out of that range, and we got the scalp just enough to capitalize on people who are going short. Nice, good trade. Didn't realize it, but there's also a swing high first entry, second entry, so you could actually maybe potentially go long on that side, or maybe it pulled back too far, right? Want you to know who I am. Oh, we could have entered here in a one ticker actually. It's a spike, and it looks like it would have worked already. Let's see if it'll come back for us before it hits 25. Oh, it's right here actually, to the tick. So it would work. Good trade. Overall trend is down now, and we're just coming off these highs. I think I'm gonna go for a buy. I just hope my signal bar is really tiny. It really is on the minute chart, so I think actually that's pretty good. I think that's a little bit better actually. On the minute chart, yeah, this one looks like on the minute chart. It's very tiny actually, so I think we're good. I'm just wondering if these highs are actually playing a part of the day. It may not be, because that's actually the previous day. People could be viewing it like this, so that means this is the overall trend. So actually shorting here could be the actual thing. I think we've done that before as well, where we had the previous day in the picture. But if you think about it, the highs were right here, we kind of broke out of it, so the main trend is up. But actually still, I don't think we should worry about the previous high in the previous day, because that's not something that really happens on the NASDAQ. At least as far as I'm concerned, I've never seen that. So the overall trend is still up, the short-term trend is still down, so I think shorting here is actually a pretty good option. I think people are still trying to push the market up. Let's read our notes real quick. We got the 10 a.m. right? 10 a.m. There could be a flip-flop, but we're not worried too much about that. We need to have a marker. So in this case, in the 8:30 market, it looks like they were always picking tops, and when it, actually, there could be some good top picking actually. It looks like people were actually chasing the market in whichever way it went. That's why it has an up and down motion instead of a trend straight up, because otherwise they'd be picking tops all the time. Looks like right after 9 o'clock, it looks like that started to actually happen. At this point, maybe just that one time. So it looks like people are still running with the trend. So I think buying here is still a good option. Just based on the market here. Let's give it a shot. Also, a couple things. We could potentially say this is still a thing, which is this, and just buy into that because the market looks like it's reversing. That'd be a good excuse to buy, right? Oh gosh, what is going on? Oh, 8 times speed. Let's not do 8 times speed. Let's just go back to normal. And I live really happy after in the trade. So we were right. Selling there was the better option. As an uptrend, the temporary trend is down. People are chasing that market, so selling there was the best option. At a non-obvious would have been the best trade. So yeah, the thing we were saying earlier, yeah, stick with it. Be confident in it. Thing I meant, the highs and lows, it doesn't really take into account the day before. I think the overall trend is up now because we're kind of bouncing off these lows. And that's kind of a repeat pattern what happened earlier, right? So I think the overall trend is up now, so shorting this is actually a pretty good idea. Still, like it was over here. I think I'm gonna switch. Never mind, we're good. In the trade. Good read. So essentially it's that repeat pattern over here. Let's actually confirm it real quick. Keep pushing down, keep pushing down. Alright, we got it enough at least. Looks like you could have also bought there. The lows are right here. Okay, it feels like the overall trend is still up. Coming off these lows? No, it has to be down because we're coming off these highs. The mark looks like it's starting to move in this direction after that spike. It looks like it's bouncing off a certain high here. So short-term trend is up. So going long is what we want to go for. And what is going on here? My mouse disappears. Why is it disappearing here? Hello? Hello? Interesting. Huh. That was glitched. The high and the mid chart is a little bit different. That bar means the entrance is a little bit different, so we're gonna go ahead and switch this guy a little bit more similar. I think we said the overall trend is down, right? So we want to buy. Why are we selling? It's supposed to be a non-obvious as well. Interesting. No entry. It's really just super congested right now. I wish it would start moving in a certain direction. There we go. And these lows. Okay, we just hit this like level right here. Yeah. So according to our notes, 10 a.m. There's not much here. We have to like figure something out. So the market looks like it's gonna keep, because people are chasing the market. That's why it does that. People chase it that way, people chase it this way, people chase it this way. Now people are gonna chase the market down this way. So I think buying is actually the better option. And plus, I think since we broke out of this range, people are gonna try to push the market back to the other side. I don't necessarily. Do they pick tops on spikes? That's the question. People were picking that top, or chasing. Yeah, people looks like picking the bottoms, started buying, and then push on down. Alright, let's see if we just. Let's go trade they try against traders who trade with short-term trends. Overall trend. Alright, if we're trading close to 11, I feel like we should be able to use the same strat. But at the same time, I don't want to because the overall trend is up here. So shorting is actually something we would want to do. Let's give it a shot. If not, then we stick with 11 a.m. strat, even at 10:50. Even at 10:50. Alright, good to know. I actually feel like this is the 11 a.m. This is a little bit silly. This should be like this. Like that. I think that's about right. I think buying here is the best option. So let's go ahead and refer back to this. They trade against traders who trade with short-term trend. They trade against people who pick tops, but pick tops on spikes. So interesting stuff here. So it looks like they're picking tops on this spike right here. It's definitely a spike on the minute chart, so we're gonna go ahead and go for that sell. It's 11:07, so I'm much more comfortable following those rules. And I think it's okay to even do it at 10 a.m. We'll give it a shot on another day. Skirt. Also these lows here. I think I like this trade a lot. There you go. Push on a little bit more. Tab it more. Okay, now push up and give us a trigger here. Not too far. Oh, hey. Chill. Bill. Just got triggered. Easy clap. Is that what the kids say? What a drop. So they're gonna traders, according to our strat, they're gonna keep going against the short-term trends, and they're gonna go with the overall trend here. Even though that was a spike, they were trying to pick the bottom of that spike, but now that overall trend, they're gonna go ahead and try to trade with it and go against these shorter-term things. And we didn't really bounce off a level of support here. This is a little bit lower, and it's really more like down. If you take a look at the minute chart, you can see exactly where that is, sort of. So a little bit lower would have been better. So we're gonna go for the buy, even though I think we might come down to these lows. Let's give it a shot. It's also that topping pattern. Yeah, they're definitely gonna short here. Tonight. So now it's starting to look like a strong uptrend, and less of a. So they could have been too early and now are taking this into consideration. I still think they're shorting, to be honest. I just don't think that spike is convincing enough, if that makes sense. Alright, we're in the trade. Nice. Ooh, bad attack? Question mark? So it looks like they were too early. They used this low right here, and to use that as a long, and they were probably picking that spike. If you take a look at the minute chart, they picked top bottoms on those spikes. And if you think about it, yeah, that's actually true. So they were picking it, they were all gonna buy here. So selling there on that second entry was actually the best option, even though we got lucky enough to get the scalp. Swing on first entry, selling right there would have been the best option, because if you think about it, it's a spike and they're picking the tops, picking the bottom of that spike. If you take a look at the minute chart, it looks like that's your opportunity to buy back into there if you're picking that spike. So selling there is actually a good option, especially since you came down to these lows. So yeah, good trade. I'm gonna take this as another spike. I think the overall trend is still down, or it could be up as a correction. I think people are still trying to buy this spike back up, especially since we just came off these lows. Oh gosh, I wasn't paying attention. So overall trend is down. You should be buying. So buy there would have been the best option. Obviously, you're coming off the it's a strong downtrend overall. This temporary trend is, yeah. Short-term trend is up. People think we're coming back to the lows. That's what it is. I think that a lot of people still think we're heading on down because it's that overall downtrend. So let's just get rid of this guy and we can have a better look at what the market really looks like it's gonna do. Oh, my baby girl. Someone just woke up, started playing. No, overall trend is up. That's definitely. Overall trend is down still. Couldn't enter the trade. Would I have to done a non-obvious? You know what? That's silly. Let's just take it. Swing low first entry, one tick. Doesn't make a difference. Let's hope not, at least. Actually, looks like the overall trend is up. They're essentially going to try and go against people who are picking tops on this. This is not a spike, so they're gonna pick those tops. So that means they're gonna buy here. So actually, selling is actually the better option. Hopefully, it comes back for us. Nice. Let's go. Let's freaking go, bro. That consolidation. Let's go though. So essentially, it's not a spike. So essentially, people are gonna be trying to convince people that the market, if it starts to do this, that pattern, if it starts to look like it's reversing in the market, and it's not a spike, just like this is not a spike. Those are just overlapping. Spike looks more like that. This is just a small little something. And the market looks like it's starting to turn down. People are gonna try to step out the people who are trying to pick the top there, and they're gonna go long. And everybody does that, especially when that market shoots up there. And shorting there is actually the better option. I just didn't like the fact that it consolidated so much, but we got it either way. I think the overall trend is still down now, especially with that. It just kind of confirmed it. I think it's okay to have that flip-flop, especially when the market starts to turn down there. You can start to see a ton of people starting to hop on the bandwagon of going short. So now the overall trend is down. These little moves up are the short-term trend, because you still have this in play. You have the lower highs in play. So short-term is actually up. So I think buying here is a good option, because the reason people are going to try and fool out the people, it's essentially what happened here, but just in the other side in reverse. You have that bottoming pattern. People are going to try and short to stop out everybody who's picking the bottoms, and essentially everybody's going to do that. Let's give it a shot. This is 1 time speed, by the way. 17, 13, 4. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Look at that spike up. Good read. Now we got the spike up. We can imagine everybody now thinking in their head, switching gears since they got stopped at the last 10 trades. Everybody's in that human nature stage where everybody's trying to make make up for all the money they lost between 8:30 and 10:30. Jesus. And now they're gonna switch gears as fast as they can, and they're gonna keep switching those gears. Here it's a overall downtrend, now it's an overall uptrend, and now we can see that people are gonna try and pick that top of that. If this turns into a spike, we can imagine a ton of people picking the top there, and buying might actually be the better option. But let's see how this plays out, because as of right now, it's not a spike. Selling is still the better option here. I think so, because the overall uptrend is up. But if it turns into a spike, I think we could see something happen. Nope, that's a spike. That's definitely a spike. Oh, wait. That was cheating. We got more than we should. I want to make this fair. I don't want to cheat. But that would have been a nice trade too. Keeps going up. Spike. So, alright. Let's keep going. Let's see. Maybe I shouldn't be fast forwarding. Ooh, okay. Hello? Ooh, it's consolidating here though. Don't like the consolidation there. I think a lot of people are going to be buying in that consolidation. So I actually do think selling there is a better... No, actually I think buying is the better option. So let's give it a shot. Easy peasy. Easy clap. Let's go. So that's pretty self-explanatory. They're picking the tops of those spikes. I was a little bit worried about the consolidation, but if you think about it, if it's a straight spike into it, they're trading that spike either way. Just like here, it's a spike down. Actually, there's not much consolidation here, but I think a sell would be nice here, but we don't have a setup here, unfortunately, unless we did like a swing low for such a second entry, which is possible because it shows up on a 1 minute chart. But man. Oh, or maybe not. Huh? Right. Right. Don't know. We could take that as a double bottom. That should do it. I'm a little worried about this though. It's consolidating a little bit too much. They like to go against people who pick tops, so that's why we're gonna go ahead and sell. Hi, mi amor. Hi, beautiful baby. About to enter the trade. And the trade. Sticking strictly to the empaths. That's unfortunate, brother. Selling at the highs would have been a lot better, to be honest. Looks like everybody's picking tops here. So it looks like everybody's still picking tops, which is interesting. Alright, so we're buying stuff, boys. Hopefully we didn't just become a part of the 90%, right? Right. I hate that I say that all the time. This is the short-term trend. Overall trend is still up. We're not really in those highs quite yet, or maybe we might have reached it. That would have given a lot of people an opportunity to sell. However, we've been in a strong uptrend, and I think people are going to keep trying to push the market up, especially since you have that strong uptrend. So let's give it a shot. So overall trend is up, essentially. That's all it is. And we're not really at those highs up there without the overthinking. It's also a spike. I hope there wasn't a flip-flop at 12 o'clock or something, because it feels like that's what happened. But I'm not so super sure. Oops. Came to the tick. If it keeps pushing down, then we gotta exit this. Damn it. Actually, it showed up a little bit different, just like this on the minute chart, so we could have sold right there and it would have been much better. So we missed the trade. That's unfortunate. I didn't want to switch, but at 12 o'clock, 12:30, you should definitely switch, even if the minute chart doesn't show it, because eventually it will. I don't like all this stuff here. Get out of here. Oh, we missed the trade. Hopefully we can still get in. Nope. Bye. That would have been it. So some very good trading, I think. We're just fast forwarding it a bit too fast, which is unfortunate, but we would have been well over 30, probably even at 40s by now if we actually took those trades that we were trying to take. Next time we shouldn't be fast forwarding so much, but that's okay. At least we got the overall idea. We're speeding through it. Alright, so that was today. We would have hit our goal, I think. Traded on Monday, man. And Tuesday and Wednesday. And Thursday, when we get back at 11 o'clock and then we start trading, I think that's enough to go on and get a couple of trades. At least get 15. Yeah, we'll probably aim for $15 on Thursdays and Fridays. You know, just kind of as one day, combination of one day, because I work in the mornings, if I say that, and I get back at 11 o'clock. Well, I'm at the computer at 11 o'clock essentially, or get back at 11ish. Usually taking a poop. Okay, but that's gonna be it. Let's take one more trade. Let's just get to 30. Be confident, bro. You know, let's get confident. We missed. Oh wait, I think we can still enter actually. People are still picking tops if this is still true. Don't flip flop on me. What the heck? Alright, I'm out of here. Peace. Get the heck out of here. Double bottom. Hello? Non-obvious entry. Bye. I don't feel like thinking. My brain hurts. Okay. Peace out, friends. Good trading for sure. And Pats, man. Thank you, early Nick. Thank you. You made this, and I'm grateful for it. Thank you, God. Oh.